Welcome, City of Oldsmar, to Weekend Wake Up. I'm your host, Mayor Dan Saracki, along with co-producer Deb Vitrelli, engineer Mark McGinley. Thank you both for all your hard work to make this podcast possible. You guys are amazing, and I am very thankful for all your hard work to help get this done. Thank you so much. Deb, let's start by talking about the Lightning game tonight. What's going to happen?
They're going to win.
Oh, man. And you were at the game on Sunday. That was amazing.
I was. It was an amazing final minute of that game. Yes.
Paula and I were over at Norton's watching the game after
nice.
City. It was an amazing game.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Yeah. Well, I hope they win. I think they really are going to win tonight. And I think
Saturday.
And then they're going to come back Saturday and you'll be at the game.
No, we won't be at that game, but, they'll win it.
Okay. All right. Before we get started, just a reminder, if you have any questions, be sure to post them, and I'll come back at the end of the episode and answer them. And if I can't answer them, I make sure I'll find the answer. Oldsmar reminders, 2022 hurricane season is here. Evacuation zone changes. Pinellas County Emergency Management has updated the evacuation zones for the 2022 hurricane season due to updates to the risk maps. Postcards have been mailed directly to affected homes and businesses. We encourage residents to check their evacuation zones at storm.pinellascounty.org. You should have got that in the mail. Check it out. Sign up for Alert Pinellas. The 22 hurricane season has officially begun. It said 21. I changed it to 22. Really important. 19 named storms they're predicting this year. 9 will become storms, and 4 will be major hurricanes. Be prepared to receive important messaging from the city and county. Sign up for Alert Pinellas. It's for free for residents and businesses. You choose how to receive the alerts from the up to 5 email addresses in Pinellas County. Go to myoldsmar.com, click on Alert Pinellas on the home page, and get those updates. All Hazard Preparedness Guide. The Pinellas County All Hazards Preparedness Guide is now available at City Hall, Public Library, and Cypress Forest Recreation Center. It includes vital information to assist Oldsmar residents and businesses to know your zone, make plans, and be informed. Be sure to grab your copy during your next visit or visit the oldsmar.com website. Sales tax holiday, now through June 10th. Consumers and businesses can purchase qualifying disaster preparedness supplies exempt from sales tax during the Florida's 2022 Disaster Preparedness Sales Tax Holiday Bonus. Pet supplies. Food has been added. My Oldsmar's homepage or floridarevenue.com/disaster prep. To learn more about all these events, visit myoldsmar.com. All right, let's get started. I'm honored to introduce our guest today, Director of the Oldsmar Leisure Services Department, Chip Potts. Welcome.
Good morning, Mayor.
I am so excited that you're here today because of all the great work you've been doing for the City of Oldsmar. And I just want to start out by saying what an amazing job that you and your staff did for Memorial Day. It was one of the largest events, attended events since I've been on City Council, and I want to thank you for all your hard work. How long does it take to get that all set up for everyone?
Usually for all of our events, we have a 6-month planning process to give us time to get all the logistics taken care of and make sure everything's ready to go.
Well, I got to tell you, the only thing I was disappointed there was hot dogs left after the event because I thought they would have been all gone this time.
Yeah, we have them left over all the time, but hey, take 2.
I mean, sometimes there's a little glitch here or there, but this time it was flawless. The agenda was exactly an hour long. It was a great presentation. Tell us a little about how you found the young gentleman with the bagpipe.
So we work with our Veterans Advisory Board to help plan this event, and we talk about different kind of components that we want to see. And we've had a bagpiper at an event in the past, and that kind of came up again. So our Recreation Supervisor, John Lindsay, reached out to the Dunedin High School bagpipers and found a contact there. And we kind of worked with them to provide that bagpiper for the event. He did a wonderful job.
I got more compliments on his performance. That young gentleman did a fantastic job for that ceremony, and thank you for reaching out to him. I hope you can get him next year.
We are already planning on it for Veterans Day.
Oh, wonderful.
Well.
Yeah. Amazing grace at the end was just great. All right, let's move on to leadership. How long have you been with the Oldsmar's Leisure Services Director?
So I started here with the City of Oldsmar in May of 2018, so just over 4 years, and boy, it doesn't feel like 4 years.
I can't believe it. I remember the day you started, and I was like, okay, we got a new Leisure Services Director. Here we go. But you're great. You replaced Lynn Reeves, who was there for many years, who helped me with the Centennial. But I have to be honest with you, you came in and you're doing a great job for the City of Oldsmar, and I thank you for that.
Thank you.
All right, tell us a little bit about your background with Parks and Recreation.
So yes, so Parks and Recreation falls under Leisure Services, and it's been in my blood forever. I started the day I turned 16 years old in Parks and Recreation as a part-time recreation leader for the Baltimore County Department of Recreation and Parks. So I really had the passion for it. I really enjoyed it. So I went to college at Towson University, graduated in 1994 with a degree in sports management. Ended up moving to Florida, worked for a couple of cities since we've been in Florida, all in the Tampa area. Worked for the City of Temple Terrace for a couple of years, City of Dunedin, City of Clearwater, and then my longest stint to this point was with the City of Largo, where I was the athletics manager, and then I managed the golf course and the Highland Recreation Center, and then I was lucky enough to come on board here in Oldsmar in 2018.
Well, I got to be honest, we're really lucky to have you. You're doing a great job for the City of Oldsmar with everything, including that wonderful hockey rink that I love.
We all love the hockey rink, Oldsmar.
Yeah, Oldsmar, yes. Thank you so much for all that. Let's move on to the opening of the BMX Supercross Track. Could you provide an update for us?
Sure. The renovation of the starting hills is still in progress. If you've driven down Tampa Road, you've seen the progress that they've made. Right now, the contractor is installing the side rails, which go on the sides of the 5 meter and the 8 meter hill, as well as the batter boards that go down. So that protects the riders from falling off the sides, if so be. But so they're working on that portion right now. We're waiting on the vendor to come in to coat the starting hills with our sports surfacing, and I hear our Communications, Marketing, and Arts Department has provided an outstanding logo that is going to be very prominent on both the 5 meter and the 8 meter hills. They're going to look outstanding. And so that's coming up from that side of the track is what we say. And then from the clay side of the track, where the actual riding surface is, our staff are continuing to provide upgrades on the track surface, maintain that as we anticipate our opening coming. We're working on other things around the track with fencing and other little things to make sure that the place looks great when we open up. Yep,
I was there with you the other day, and I saw we were up on top of the hill. It's really coming together. It's looking really exciting. I'm pumped. I want to talk about that logo that our producer Mark McGinley came up with, which is amazing.
Yes.
So they're going to do what? How are they going to get that on those ramps?
So we actually have an artist that Mark's been working with who makes stencils, and this sports surfacing is the kind of what you'll see on a tennis court, an outdoor tennis court, or an outdoor basketball court, and you see the lines that are painted there. So this logo is going to be a huge stencil that spans the entire width of the track, the starting hill, and it's very large, very prominent, and so they'll do the surfacing, and then they'll bring the stencil out and they'll paint over that surface, and it's going to look sharp.
Well, I think that's going to be one of the major improvements of that hill and that whole environment marketing piece for us. It's going to really stand out for the City of Oldsmar.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, the big point. Here we go. When are we going to open?
We're looking for later this summer. We're on track. Like I said, the vendors and the contractors are working their side, and the staff are working our side. We want to make sure we have everything ready to go. We just don't want to open. We want to make sure everything's ready to go, and the people are going to be happy with what they see when they come in.
We have a tentative date, but I know it might change, and I don't want to bring that up. But I'm really, really excited about that opening day. And then will the track be ready for the first run of the city council members?
I know that it will be ready for the first run of the city council members. I know that our staff are eagerly awaiting that race and planning for it.
I just hope I finish.
We know you'll finish.
All right, let's talk a little bit about history. What is the difference between a normal track and a supercross track?
So really, the defining difference between a supercross track and a normal track is the 8-meter hill. And, that just allows us to host bigger and more elite events.
Well, I got to tell you, when we walked up there the other day to the 8-meter hill and I looked down, you can't even see where it goes. It's like
the drop off is is steep.
It's like when you were a kid and you were at the quarry going off the jump off in the water. You couldn't really see anything. You just hit the water. So it's going to be interesting for the riders. Has there been modifications from the previous design?
Yeah, there have been a few modifications to the previous track starting hills that were there. So one of them is the slope on the 5-meter amateur hill. That's been modified to a lesser degree. It used to be sort of like the 8-meter hill where it drops twice. Mm-hmm. So this now is just a straight drop to a lesser degree. So that's more conducive to our riders that are maybe a little younger or are not the elite riders. So it's not as imposing to them. So that's one of the modifications that we've made. Another modification is the starters area on the 5-meter and the 8-meter is now in one location. So now we only need one person to be able to run both gates. They can see the 8-meter start and the 5-meter start at the same time. So that's convenient for staff and for the safety of the riders to be able to know which gate is opening when we're in our practice sessions. And then I think one of the major things that at least the elite riders will see is that we no longer have the stair access on the south side, the south side of the track. It used to be we had the stairs that came up and the riders had to walk the stairs. So all of the riders will be able to access the 5-meter or the 8-meter from the main ramp on the west side. So the 5-meter riders will walk up the ramp, sort of like the ramp that was previously there, and they'll go to their staging area. And then the elite riders for the 8-meter hill, they'll walk up a switchback ramp that goes to the top of the 8-meter. So those are a couple of modifications that have been made, which we think are going to be certainly improvements.
Yeah, thank you so much for updating me on that, because I was going to ask you that question, because when we were there the other day, I noticed the new ramp to the 8-millimeter. The other thing I wanted to mention, I looked at that 5-millimeter. I remember going down that, and it looked like you did change it. I think it's much better. I feel more comfortable now going down, just so you know.
Good.
I hear some famous riders have used our track to train. Can you tell us who some of them might be?
Sure. We've had a lot of great riders that have ridden our tracks, but I know that Mariana Pajon and Carlos Ramirez are a few, both of which have earned medals in the Olympics.
That's great. And I'm hoping they come back this year.
I'm sure they will.
Yeah, it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
Thank you so much for that update. Let's move on to BMX sport. What makes BMX racing different from other sports? So
BMX, as you would probably know, is a individual type sport. Although they do have teams that race together, they race individually. And so unlike team sports like baseball or basketball or football or soccer, where you have more players on a team that can actually play on a field at a time, nobody sits the bench in BMX. Everybody participates. Doesn't matter the skill level. You'll always be able to practice, and you'll always be able to ride in a race. So it doesn't really matter what your skill level is. So it's more of a universal type kind of sport where it doesn't matter what your skill level is. You're not going to sit. You're going to participate. You're going to get better, and you're going to build confidence. The other thing that makes BMX racing a little bit different, families travel in sports, sure, but BMX is unique. It seems like families in BMX really travel to these events and practices together. It's not unusual to see entire families attending events and even families participating in events together where you'll have a mom or a dad riding in a race and then the daughter or son riding in a youth race or on the Strider track. So it's a very family-oriented, tight-knit community. And that's really what's nice about BMX. It makes it a little bit different.
That's one of my favorite things about the BMX track is it brings people together in our city and all around the country, plus families, like you said. It's such a family affair, and it's really important that we continue to do that in the City of Oldsmar, bringing people together. And I appreciate you taking care of that and making sure those families are happy. Let's go on to one other question. How does our Supercross track impact the Oldsmar economic development?
Sure, the track certainly impacts our economy here because riders and families, as I mentioned, they travel together, and they'll travel from far distances to participate in, certainly in races, but practices as well. So this, when they come here, they're going to have to eat somewhere. They're going to want to do things. So, our restaurants certainly are impacted. Our shops are impacted. When we have our state series races and our national races, or actually international races, that really affects our hotels. Our hotels fill up, and certainly those people that come and stay from around the country and around the world, they want to do things. They want to go out to eat. They want to be entertained. So that really has a nice positive impact on our community. Another thing about having an 8-meter hill in a facility like ours is that riders will travel and live near these tracks. And we do have riders that do move to Oldsmar and live near the track so that they can train and compete. And one of those riders is Felicia Stansel, who is a current Olympian and the #1 current U.S. women's rider. So, it just goes to show you that this is a draw. This track is a draw.
It absolutely is. And one thing I noticed when there is an event in Oldsmar, there's a line out the door at all the restaurants in Oldsmar. There's so many people in town attending the events for the BMX. I'm looking forward to that. I'm looking forward to the economic impact that it brings to our city.
Yes.
Really, really exciting. Explain to our audience how Oldsmar is an international destination in the BMX world.
So we're an international destination, one, because we're Florida. People want to come to Florida, and that's a great thing. Our proximity to Tampa International Airport for those national and international travelers is very convenient. We're 20 minutes away from both Tampa International and from St. Pete Clearwater Airport. So the convenience of the location from being from outside of our area is there from the airport standpoint. Additionally, we're one of 4 tracks in the Tampa Bay area. So when riders come to our area, they want to try different tracks and they travel around. But, having that 8-meter hill, riders travel here because it gives them the opportunity, those elite riders, to train for those national and international events.
Definitely. I remember when they come in from Australia, Japan, from all over the world.
Europe,
and
Brazil.
Yeah. And the thing that's so amazing is when they do that 8-meter hill and they fly over that first hill, and when they land, it's just they're begging for that first place, and they're it's like a horse race almost.
I give them credit. It's not in my blood.
No, me neither. What type of programs will be offered to learn BMX racing?
So once we reopen the facility, we'll certainly be hosting open houses where riders can experience the track, kind of learn a little bit more about what we offer, the programs, kind of just get a general feel for it, hop on a bike, ride some of the track jumps, not the hills. We don't put them on the 5, especially not the 8, the 5 or 8 meter hills. We kind of let them ride the track and get a feel for it. We also are going to be offering beginners leagues. So we have some really good coaches. Jason Conklin, our BMX operator, he's out there heading up that program along with some of our local pros who will kind of donate their time to help these children and kids and youth learn the basics of the sport and really become acclimated to the bike and build confidence and really kind of take that next step into riding. So those are some of the opening programs, and we'll also be offering camps and things over the holidays and for summer camps once we get to next year, and give kids the opportunity to keep riding year round and experience the sport.
That's wonderful. Yeah, that's really important to teach those young kids the skills of the BMX track. And while we're talking about that, let's talk about age range.
It's pretty vast in BMX. A lot of the literature you will read will say from ages 2 to 70. So basically, if you can ride a bike, you can ride BMX. Come out to the track. There's really no age limit.
So there's a special track for the 2-year-olds to what?
Well, we do have a strider track, which is for the younger ones that aren't pedaling yet, and those are so cute. They sit on a bike that doesn't have pedals; it's a little push bike, and they can go around the little strider track. And then we actually, during some of the events, when we have, for example, during Gator Nationals and our state series races, we'll have a strider event, and the little guys can get on the 4th straight, and they'll start on one of the little jumps, and they'll go over and push over the jumps and make their way to the finish line. And that goes back to that whole family affair of Supercross and BMX.
Now, is that track open all the time, or is it only open, the strider track only open when?
It's only open when the facility's open. So we're, our hours and days are Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. So we'll have practices on Tuesdays, and then we'll have practice and race on Thursdays and Saturdays.
Wonderful. Let's talk about membership. What's the cost of that?
So the great thing about BMX and USA BMX with membership is that a new rider can come in. experience the track, and they can get a free one-day membership. If they decide that they want to continue into BMX and continue riding and learning and competing, they can purchase a annual membership through USA BMX, which we provide at the track, and that's $60, and that's good for any track that's sanctioned by USA BMX throughout the country.
I want to talk one more thing before we move on. We were there the other day. We noticed the concession stand, the restrooms, everything's being renovated. Can you give us an update on that?
Sure. We're taking the opportunity now to renovate the restrooms, freshen them up, new paint, new fixtures, things like that. The concessions, we're going to be working with a vendor to provide some concessions, not in the concession building, but in more of like a food tent, food truck kind of situation for right now. So we're hoping to expand what we've been able to offer in the past.
Okay, so basically during events there'll be food trucks for the attendees.
Yeah, a food tent.
Oh, great.
Yeah.
Perfect. I love it. All right. One last thing I want to bring up to the people out there. The Oldsmar Experience magazine is now available at City Hall, Library, and the Forest Lakes Rec Center. Pick this up today, or it's going to be in your mailbox in the next day or two. You don't want to miss it. There's a great article in here about what Chip Potts has just been bringing up about the BMX track. You want to learn all about our track, learn more about the City of Oldsmar, all the events that are happening in our city and what's going on. This is the magazine for the City of Oldsmar. You don't want to miss that. All right. Other guest discussion points. Let's talk about Parks and Rec Month, July. Anything else going on?
Well, Parks and Recreation Month is something that is nationwide. It's through the National Recreation Park Association, and they promote the opportunity for people to get outdoors. Summer is a great time to get outside, experience nature, get with your family, increase your health opportunities by walking on trails, playing tennis, basketball, whatever you like to do. Let's just get outside. Let's get active. Let's get back with nature, and let's get back to family.
And don't forget, Monday nights from 6 to 8:30 and Thursday from 6 to 8:30 is open hockey. It's ball hockey. You can run with me, the mayor. You can join me out there. I'm there every Monday and Thursday running around. It's hot, but I'm still there. All right. Deb, question and answers on Facebook. Do we have any today?
Let's see. There are a few comments that I'd be happy to mention. Liz Martin states that Jack's Village loves Chip and the mayor.
All right.
And thanks for the support and the guidance through Jack's Space Project Planning. You are an inspiration to Oldsmar teens.
Oh, that's very nice. Thank you, Liz.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Nancy Alviani. Good morning, Dan. And great job for Memorial Day. It was a beautiful ceremony. And thank you to Leisure Services Director as well for his services. Liz Martin wants to know if the mayor needs an Jack's Village teen coach for the BMX race. So let's see.
That wouldn't be a bad idea.
Yeah.
I kind of like that.
And then Kim Fell just asked if you could quickly provide an update, Chip, on the softball and baseball fields.
Sure, I can do that. Right now, we just have, I think yesterday I actually saw the update. Fields 3 and 4 have been scraped of the surfacing, the turf. And the vendor is going to be moving on to fields 1 and 2 and 7. And they are moving forward in that process. After the scraping it takes place, which basically is they're taking all of the turf off, and then we're going to have it laser graded so that the water runs in the right direction and drains off of the fields. And then after that, we have to do irrigation work underneath and all of that kind of stuff. So we are hoping, hopefully the weather holds out for us, and we will continue that project. We're going to have new scoreboards out there. Hopefully, get some shelters over the bleachers on field 3 and 4, some sheds. So yeah, that progress, it's progressing along. So we're hoping for, again, open by the end of summer.
Are they also going to improve some of the lighting in the parking lots?
The parking lot lighting is something that we do through our facility maintenance division. Okay. So yes, that's not part of the project. That's just ongoing maintenance.
I think a lot of the citizens of Oldsmar and the people that are involved in the Little League are really excited about these renovations.
Yeah, so are we. It's going to really take the facility up to the next level.
We needed that. I'm so glad to be a part of that, and I can't wait for the grand opening of that.
Yep.
All right, Deb, anything else?
Yeah, Kim also is asking for an update on Sheffield Park with parking and safety.
Well, I got to give you a quick update. Yesterday, I met with Felicia Donnelly, our city manager, and we talked about that. And her and I are actually going to go over there. We're going to drive over and check out the parking issue together. So let's talk about that in the future. But we will definitely be back in touch with you about parking at Sheffield Park. We know it's an issue, but we are working on it. So thank you for your question.
Cool. And Chip, do you want to serve a reminder for the hockey camp coming up?
Sure, we've got some hockey camps coming up.
Yeah.
We have one next week, June 13th through the 17th, out of the Oldsmar Hockey Complex out there, the Al Braithwaite Hockey Center. And it's $50 with a rec card. It's from 9 to 12. And one of our staff, Noah Chandrowski, he'll be coaching that clinic next week.
Cool.
Noah's great. He is there every time on Monday and Thursday for open hockey. He plays with us, but he keeps everybody in line so that nobody gets out of hand.
That's
so
good.
Thank you, Noah, for all your hard work. All right. Anything else?
Just your wife saying go Bolts. So.
Oh, all right. Yeah. Definitely. All right. I think that's our weekend wake up wrap up.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chip, for being our guest today. To learn more about Oldsmar BMX Supercross, visit rideoldsmar.com. You can also like them on Facebook. And thanks for everyone for watching this morning. Get up, get out, and enjoy Oldsmar. And Deb, you ready? Go Tampa
Bolts.
Bay Lightning. Go Bolts. Come on, Bolts. Win tonight. We need a victory. Let's go. And don't forget, pick up your magazine. This is it. This is the key to the city. Job. Thanks, Chip.